meeting of July the 14th and July the 21st, and the minutes should be approved as presented, and a copy will be made available for anybody that would like to have one, so you can get them next time.
Great, thank you.
There you go. There you go. I am appointing Wayman Westbrook to the Walker County Department of Family and Children's Services Board. They've sent me a list of things that they need, and I did appoint someone from the Sheriff's Department that did Child Protective Services, and now I'm appointing someone from the Fire Department, which is one of the requests that they made, and Wayman Westbrook is their fire marshal. Okay, so there. It's done, and then I will appoint Nelda Parrish to the Board of Lookout Mountain Community Services. She has run mental health programs in the past, and we all think she'll make a good board member. And I am going to present a resolution declaring property of the Walker County Sheriff's Office as surplus. Whereas it has been determined that the cost of repairs to a Jackson Conservative XL2 commercial dishwasher, serial number 03D6972M, currently assigned to the Walker County Sheriff's Office, have become extensive, and said dishwasher has become unserviceable and unfit for the purposes for which it was intended. Whereas the sheriff has requested that the property be declared unserviceable, unusable, and surplus by Walker County, and that the property be disposed of according to law. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Walker County Commissioner B.B. Heisman, hereby declare the subject property unusable, unserviceable, and surplus, and of no use to the department. Be it further resolved, and it is hereby resolved, that said excess property be disposed of, and that this declaration be entered upon the minutes of the county records and properly recorded in the county property inventory records. And I read the description in the resolution. I'll open sealed bids for the installation of chain link fencing at Walker County Marble landfill. The bids will not be awarded at this time, because we have to deal with GFA on what they require before we award these bids. Archstone Incorporated, Carrollton, Georgia. They the ones that bid before? We changed the description. This is a 6-foot fence.
Correct.
Until I find it.
Shouldn't have pulled front.
I didn't see it, but I did. And I need glasses on. There it is. 1,650 foot of fencing, $21.14 a foot. 140-foot sliding gate, $13,100, one 20-foot swinging gate, $1,007.69. The rest of this is the detail on that up there. I'll keep the brush and look at it and find this up. That didn't give us a total, did it? We'll have to talk about it on it too. This one says, you can't find the little. Celebrity Fence Company, 1736 George Washington Drive, Ellenwood, Georgia, 30294. No local bid. Okay. 1,650 feet of fencing at $16 a foot, one 40-foot sliding gate at $3,000, one 20-foot swinging gate at $1,000, total $30,400. Sounds good. Okay, that looks like the winning bid, but we'll have to look at it and see if they meet the requirements. I will close the meeting and open it to a public hearing to consider the application for rezoning amendment filed by David E. Phillips and Patricia J. Phillips to rezone their property from A1 to C1, a portion of property plus or minus 2.46 acres located at 59 Highway 151, Lafayette, Georgia, tax parcel 0360011A for the purpose of construction and operation of a Dollar General store. Is there anybody here to speak on behalf of this? Okay.
This is Highway 151, right at the Catoosa County line, southeast.
Is it Chattooga County line?
Not Chattooga, sorry.
Okay, kind of easy.
Catoosa. This is, and you know, southeast of Roxbury. And in fact, this is actually the county line right here. There's a cell tower here. It's a 14-acre piece of property. And the front of the property is sort of flat, slopes down the road, and actually the back end of this property really goes steeply up the ridge there. And so we were able to work out a deal with folks who own this to buy this portion. Actually, the land, because it's so steep up above it, we actually need that large of an area for septic back in there, which is really large, but we, checked all that out with the health department and everything, and are able to do the grading and make it work here. We met with the DOT, and we'll have to do a decel lane, and the DOT's fine with all of that. We originally wanted to try to put the driveway directly across from County Line Road here, but the sight lines weren't going to work out for the DOT. This is a safer driveway location according to the DOT. That's really it. Unless you have any questions.
Okay, anybody got any questions, Mr. Howard? Is there anyone here to speak in opposition to this project? On July 14th, 2016, this came before and was approved by the Walker County Planning Commission, and they sent a recommendation to me to approve the project. And since we don't have anybody here in opposition to it, since I think it's a good thing for us to have a new retail business in Walker County that brings in some sales tax, I'm going to take the recommendation of the Planning Commission and approve the rezone. Okay. If there's nothing else on this public hearing, I'll adjourn the public hearing and open the meeting for general discussion.
Madam Chair, I would like to ask, is this meeting considered a regular meeting?
Yes, it is. It's on 3 o'clock on Thursday, and it also has included the public hearing. So it's just convenient for people to come to a regular meeting for the public hearing, though it does not have to be in the regular.
Okay. You and I had a conversation, I'm Greg Wood. You and I had a conversation 2 or 3 days ago about how to accomplish getting on the agenda. And I called yesterday, and you stated that usually you just call and you can get on the agenda. And I called yesterday, and I was somewhat stonewalled by your secretary.
I think it's because it had already been posted and distributed, our agenda. That's why I opened
Okay.
this thing for public discussion, so you can do what you want to anyway.
Well, no, I mean, I'm not prepared at this point. I was told that Mr. Oliver would not be here. So,
I asked him to come, so,
Okay.
because I thought maybe you might have some questions.
well, I have several questions, but at this point in time, when it was abandoned, I'm not prepared to speak to that. But I hope that I'm on the agenda for next meeting.
Well, the next meeting, unless we have something come up between then and now, will be August the 29th, and it will be this thing, which is the washateria issue over on Wilson Road and
Okay.
James Street.
Okay.
So that I know we're having a meeting on. No, that's a public hearing, I'm sorry. That's separate from the general meeting. Isn't that right?
Because I think that's going to be on Monday.
Okay, it's on, we're trying to get it in this month if we can. And we have a length of time that we have to provide for the attorney who is very emphatic about how many days we have to from the time the notice is published until we hold the meeting. So can we just notify you when our next meeting is?
That would be fine.
Okay.
I would appreciate
I
that.
think I have your phone number.
You have my phone number. You called me back the other day, and I appreciate that.
All right.
Thank you.
Commissioner, I have a question. I had Mr. Ed Bruce sitting here beside me today. Back on July the 1st, he hand-delivered 4 open records requests to your office. He got a response back by mail dated July the 7th. And we were just curious why these had not been filled, these requests had not been filled.
I don't do them, we turn them over to other people in the county, and we're very short-handed. It may be that they haven't gotten, I don't even know what you asked for.
Well, we got copies here for you, and also the letter that was sent and signed from Bridget Garrett.
Information. Appraisals. Data on that tax anticipation note. And documents pertaining to the G loan. Okay, we do have those, except for the appraisal, and that's to be done in accordance with GFA, to be sent to EPD, and it has to have an engineering report done and a hydrology study done, and as soon as that's done, we'll provide that for you, but it has not been done. Okay?
And so those other requests, when could you anticipate getting those?
I don't know, we're still working on that other big one that we've got from that attorney in Atlanta. No, it won't take so long.
Hope within the next week or two.
So you say within 2 weeks?
I would hope so, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Anybody else like to have a word to say, or any questions or discussion?
I think so. This is the first time I've been in a meeting here. My name is Gary Bruce. I'm not a violent person, but I'm an angry citizen. I travel for a living, so I'm never home. And when I first came in this area, I was watching what you've been doing, and I was kind of okay with it. But for the past 15 years, I have been traveling so much, and I kind of left it up to what's going on.
Up to
I
this.
have kind of left it up to the county to do what they need to do. I'm being fed some information from my neighbor, or one of my tenants, about some of the money that's been spent. And let me see, one of the things that come up was something about some police cars you bought. 10 of them. $300,000. Then we had to borrow the money to pay for those.
We did a lease purchase, we usually do that, we do a lease plus.
Wasn't there money set aside for that?
If the money that was set aside for that was expended for.
Somewhere else.
To finish another project, yes.
Well, I've got 6 tax bills here. My friends have been telling me about what they got. A little bit afraid to open them. This is not your situation, but, you know, one of these is my house. The other are 5, hold on. The other are 5 tenants. Hold on a moment.
Okay.
The other 5 tenants. And my belief is if things don't get straightened out, they will vote against you and me. You
Well,
understand?
that's
Now,
prerogative.
okay, it's our problem. Well, listen, let me finish up. Let me finish up. Let me finish up, because like I said, I'm not a violent person, but I'm very angry. I'm a citizen of this county, and I've been through, I won't hit anybody.
I'm kidding you.
I won't even hit myself. But what I'm trying to say is, there needs to be some accountability, and I don't think there has been for what I've been fed so far. And I want to look into this a little bit deeper and find out what's going on, because something needs to be dealt with. I never had time to be home, but I'm happy to be home now. And I have a tenant that says, you're going to be angry, so here, I want to give you some information. So it's my understanding the money was spent somewhere else. Let me tell you what I have out in my car. I've got divorce papers for a woman who done the same dang thing to me, but she did it with tens of thousands of dollars, and you're doing it with hundreds of thousands of dollars. I think you need to think about this, because if you're spending money where you're not supposed to be spending it, you better look into this. Am I right to be angry?
I don't know.
Well, wait,
I really don't.
wait.
But I don't know what you
You're
did.
sitting at the head of that table, and you
Yeah,
don't know.
But I don't know if you have a right to be angry, because I don't think I've done anything wrong, just so you
Well,
know. And if
when you're
that's
spending
the case-
money areas that you, I understand. But I don't know, am I right? Am I right about that?
Well, let me explain to you why the money that was for the sheriff's cars was not spent on sheriff's cars. We bought a piece of property to put in industrial. It's taken me 10 years to get the property. And the cities and the county all went together and decided that it was the most important project in the county because it's gonna help everybody in the county.
So you went ahead and spent some other money for it, and now we got to
Now you're putting words in my mouth. Let me tell you,
I understand.
what you want. So the law says that if you're starting on a project, you can't start all your projects and then not have enough money to finish
I
them.
understand
If you have
that.
a major project, you can finish that project with that money and do these other projects with other money. That's what I have done with the sheriff's cars.
I see
And
that,
that's not unusual that we do a police purchase on big hitters.
and I understand that.
And we spent all the money that we could possibly spend on the industrial part. And that is very important, in my opinion, to the future of this county.
So how many people, how many businesses in this industrial park right now?
Right now, we've got one that's building a second place, and then 2 more coming in.
But how many is actually making business there right now?
I'm sorry?
How many companies have a business there right now that's
Just one.
a tax base for us?
Just one.
Just one.
Mhm. But let
And
me
the
say
others are,
this,
the others are promises, or
they're coming. But let me tell you why. That piece of property is the only piece of property in Walker County that had water and sewer, electricity and natural gas, fiber optics and rail. It would
Yeah.
cost a whole lot more to get that to another site than to buy that site.
I understand all that.
Well,
My concern is about this $300,000 for these cars that now I'm paying interest on it on loan, that now that, you know, it's like, I
That will go into
have a
their
hard time
budget.
with that. I have a very much hard time with that. You know, I don't mind spending money, but if I gotta, pay interest on like a credit card because I spend money, that's gotta be the dumbest move I would ever make.
But it's not the kind of interest that you pay on a credit card.
Well, maybe not.
Oh.
It's still money that I need to be paying on.
The sheriff has told me that he very much needs these cars. And
I
took his
understand
word.
that, and I support, I was just down there today, I want to have a block party, and I asked him if he could send some deputies out to introduce them to some of my tenants and my people. they were all for it. I'm all for the police department, I'm all for everything, but what I'm not for is what I'm here, what I'm gonna open up here.
Well, I'm gonna tell you
That's
about
what-
those
that's what's
next,
gonna,
but let me say
that's
this.
what's, I'm concerned about.
This new company that's coming in, and we're seeing this as being comparable, we were able to get 4 kilowatt hour power, which has made that very attractive because TDA couldn't go below 7 cents kilowatt hour. Now, the new company that's come in, they're starting people out off the street, hoping they'll have some manufacturing experience, but they have to go through a process to get hired. They're starting out at between $18 and $20 an hour, and their maintenance people are starting them out at $26.50 an hour. That is very important to me because our median income is lower than any of the county around here.
I know what the median income is for this area because I hire people myself, but it's, again, I'm right back to this, you know.
All right, now,
We need to
those
stop.
things that you got, I've been here through every revaluation that's been done in Walker County. The first one was in 1971. Prior to that time, your county digest has got to be close to 40%, is what they call it, 40%. And ours has been like 35% for the last more than 3 years, I think. But the first one, the state of Georgia only would allow 3 different companies in the United States to do the valuation. And they came in and did it, and it was long and hard, and they had a whole lot of appeals, and people went through a lot of things. The next one was about in the 80s, and it was a cheapie done by somebody up here in Fallingwater. And the next one, under the county commissioner, Perry. The next one was done under the county commissioner, Buddy Chapman. It was done in 1998, and that, it was for commercial. Then in 2004, there was another one done for residential and other properties, and that was 14 years ago. There has not been another property revaluation since that time. The state of Georgia Department of Revenue has put Walker County under a consent order. They had 3 years to clear this up.
I understand, and you are familiar with what happened in 2008 with all the housing and the, all right, so I mean, like I said, I didn't have time because I just got